Welcome everyone. Welcome CAFMD and all my friends. Today, my name is Rio, and I want to introduce to you guys to what I made for game design class, which is called Tomb of the Warlocks. So let's give it a bit of a background first. In this world of Lord and Tirith, warlocks used to be the kings of the world, and the greatest of which are enshrined in the tomb Flaga after they die. But as time goes on, their powers waned, and eventually their existence themselves are forgotten. You, the player, learn of your lineage and go to the tomb to reclaim power of the warlocks to reconquer the world. This game is an action roguelike that has spellcasting as the core gameplay. But as you can see from the middle of the screen, which is your main character, our current main character has the asset of a bandit because currently I couldn't find any really good assets, and most of the assets are very basic, and I just wanted to make the game work adequately well. So let's just keep going. At the start of every mission, you can see that there are two spells. So at the start, you get the choice of two spells, after which you get to choose one and you get to use it for the rest of the game. So let's just choose the left one called Frostbeam by clicking the Learn button. The Frostbeam actually shoots a giant laser beam that goes through walls, and it's just a huge laser beam. But the downside is it both hurts yourself and also you cannot move while doing it, while shooting this laser beam. There are three different types of enemies. The first of which is the blue one, and the blue ones are like ghosts. They literally just chase you around. They just want to murder you. So it's actually a very good idea to have this laser beam to kill them, because whenever they go through walls, you can just kill them straight up. The second of which is the green ones, and the green ones are different. Whenever they hit a wall, they bounce towards you. So they can only go straight until they hit a wall, after which they bounce towards you. The last enemy type is the red one, if I can find one really quickly. I think we just finished off all the red ones, so we'll just talk about the red ones on the next map. So let's just see this one. That is the goal of the game. It's to reach the end. This end, or this compass symbol, is how you get to the next level. And this compass symbol is randomly generated at every time you get into the map. So therefore, you have to look for the red symbol, because at the start you just don't know where it is exactly. So let's just go to it. Let's just go inside it to go to the next map. And when you reach the next map, you get a choice of 2 additional spells. So the core of the gameplay is for you to choose the right spells to create the best mage that you can be. So this one, you have 2 spells here. That's called Lightning Spears and Coin Trap. So after every map, at the start of every map more like, you get a choice of spells that you can learn. So let's just choose the right one called Coin Trap. Now, Coin Trap is a spell that puts down a trap on the floor, after which, when the enemies go under it, they take damage. Right here, you can see the red enemies that we mentioned earlier, and the red enemies are turrets that shoot at you whenever you see them. The coin trap is very good because you can click on the enemies through walls. Therefore, you don't have to subject yourself to the arrows being shot at you by the enemies. We are lucky here because the end map is really close. But just to test it out, let's just try dying here so that we can try testing out the other 2 spells as well. So let's just die to these red enemies really quickly. And you can see when your health bar on the top left reaches 0, you get this game over man screen and you restart the entire level. But as you can see, our restarting point is different from the original one. Why is that? Because I set it so that the original spawn point is random. So therefore, which map you start with is random. So you can either start on this map or the other map. That way, it's every run is at least slightly altered in the way you should progress about things, because you don't have as much access to whatever resources you have. So for this one, to showcase all my 4 spells right now, let's select the Lightning Spears, which just shoots a yellow projectile at the enemy. This is very low cooldown, so this is very good just to kill a lot of enemies, but it doesn't go through walls, which means it is not that good against blue enemies. It's actually also fast, and it's very high DPS for it. So this is still a good spell to have, especially to handle bosses. So let's just quickly go through the level and see if we can reach the we can reach the next level. Die. All right. And it now spawns on the bottom left. So let's just go on the bottom left. Now you can see that you have the choice of these two spells. Currently, the spells are fixed. So when you reach a certain map, you get the choice of two spells, and reach the other map, you have a choice of two spells. But there are plans in the future to make this randomly generated, such that you have greater variance on what you have to choose after every mission, so that you have to adapt to whatever choices you get instead of creating a plan beforehand. So for this, let's just go with timed explosion. And if you press Q or E, you get to swap through what your spells are. Currently, there's no UI that tells you what spells you're currently using, but trust me, when you click Q or E, you change your spells that you're using. So time explosion is different from coin trap because, as you can see, the animation starts, but the character itself does not attack. The explosion itself doesn't happen immediately because this is delayed. This is very strong because it has an explosion that lasts a long time and it has a big hitbox. But the big problem is it has a delay, so it's not good sometimes. So let's just keep going and see if we can reach the end of the level. Here's the end of the level. So let's just go to the end of the level here. And when you reach it, you get to what is called the boss stage. The boss stage is right there, and it's that tree that I would like to call Yggdrasil. So the goal is we should just keep dealing damage to it. And as you can see, when it reaches half HP, it actually changes its sprite, but also the attack speed is faster. But we killed it really fast, and therefore you get the win screen. And after you see the win screen, it will automatically restart the game so that you can keep going and replaying this game. So I would like to say there's replayability in this game because there are random effects to it. As you earlier, just before I leave, the boss itself didn't have that much HP because currently I didn't make it have too much HP so that we don't waste too much time in the presentation of it. So that's what I would like to say. So thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a pleasant day.